Yeah, he got the wire. He got the wire. He got the. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. St. Patty's Day around the corner, so we about to whip up a monstrous Irish pub burger. We'll get into that in 1 second, but first, you know we gotta cook and get hammered. Got some good old Guinness, straight from Ireland. Cheers. Now we can start. As y'all can see, my son was super excited too to record this. Of course, he already be eating good, guys. I have that ground beef right there, some bacon. It's thick cut, by the way. Pay attention to the back right here first. Salt, garlic powder, smoked paprika. I have a peppercorn medley, Worcestershire sauce, that Guinness red wine vinegar, a little bit of Dijon mustard, brown sugar, honey, maple syrup, cabbage, Swiss cheese, arugula, nice brioche bun, onion, and garlic. First off, throw your ground beef into a nice little bowl like this. Make sure you season it up well because we want a lot of flavor inside that patty too. Salt, pepper, little bit of that garlic powder too. Season that up. I always like to throw a little bit of that WWW sauce in there, whatever y'all guys like to call it. It's the worst word in the world, sauce. I can't even say that. Anyway, listen. I find that one egg yolk really helps bind everything together. I'm working with like 16 ounces of ground beef right here. So throw in one egg yolk and then just mix that all together. Make sure all the seasoning, all that is just all mixed together right there. And then you can form your patty. It's really no special way to do this. Roll it up like a meatball and then flatten it out. Push the sides in kind of so you form up the, just a nice little patty like that. I'm going to set that off the side to let it rest for a second. Make sure it's not like super cold. First, I want to get started on that glaze though, y'all. Let's throw in that Guinness right here. Of course, I always got to have a sip. Even more than the one that I just slammed. Throw in a little bit more W sauce because that's a key component to this glaze also. I'm dropping in a little bit of honey. Also going to help thicken things up, but the flavor, again, the flavor for it is just great. Maple syrup. Remember, this is a maple stout demi glaze. Mix this up for now. You see it bubbling up. We're cooking out that alcohol. Don't take too long for this Guinness beer. Throw in that brown sugar to really sweeten things up. Again, that's also going to help thicken things up. You see the dark, the dark part of it. That stout, the Guinness beer just really has a smooth, creamy, balanced roast character that's going to be perfect for this. The last component, honestly, I like to throw in this Dijon mustard right here. Give it a nice little kick. I know it looks kind of weird and curdled right here, but I promise you, keep on mixing it and just low heat, let it reduce. All that's going to go away. You'll see in a second. Look at that. Beautiful. Thickened up. I'm happy with that. Set that aside now. Let it cool. We're going to get started on our burger. Beautiful. Get that pan nice and hot. I threw in, a little bit of oil there. It's actually grapeseed oil to be, specific. Season up the outside of your burger too. You seen earlier we already seasoned up the inside. Season up the outside. I'm going to throw that side down first. Press it down. Let it cook. Medium heat. We don't want to burn the outside before we really cook the inside there. Of course, we got to season up that other side. Man, that color is looking great. Finally, once the other side kind of cooked, throw on that Swiss cheese and let it melt. That's gonna melt beautifully. I really like the Swiss cheese for this because it has a sweet, mild, and nutty flavor that just goes perfect with the glaze and everything else that's on there. Toast up your buns, guys. That takes a quick second. Get that done and out the way and set it aside. Now finally, we're going in with that fried cabbage, a key component to this burger. pay attention to the way I'm cutting this. Make sure your knife is really, really sharp. You're gonna see me struggle here, and trust me, my knife was actually pretty sharp. Still, it gave me a little struggle. Just cut out the stem now after cutting it like that, kind of into like a quarter. You're gonna see the way that I slice this. It just makes it super easy, and you know, it plates very well with this burger right here. You'll see the strips. That's looking good for me. Final component to this, so we're gonna use that thick cut bacon that I showed you in the beginning. Don't cut it super thin, but I like some, you know, nice decent chunks right here. As you can see, I threw a tiny bit of oil, you know, into the pan right here, but do not go crazy, please, because you already know bacon has a lot of fat, a lot of grease is gonna come out of that, so don't go too crazy. You see how it's looking right here after cooking. Let that get nice and crisp. Loving the color there. Like I said, you see all the grease. Take the bacon out, but don't do nothing with that pan or that grease. We're gonna cook everything else in there. Throw them onions in first. Let them caramelize a little bit. Once they get nice and translucent, I want to throw that garlic in there. Let that get nice and fragrant. Don't throw the garlic in too early, because you know it has a tendency to burn. Once everything is smelling delicious in your kitchen, finally let's go in with that cabbage. Cabbage is looking good. Now I'm gonna throw in that red wine vinegar. I needed a little acidic flavor into this. Season it up. Salt, not too heavy on the salt though, because you know bacon kind of has a lot of salt in it. That pepper medley, and then that smoked paprika. Mix that all up. It's a process here, yo. You know, just medium heat, slow cook it. Just keep on going until it kind of looks like this. Finally, why not? Let's throw in some more fat. I have some butter. That's unsalted butter, by the way, in case anybody was wondering. Like I've said in my past videos, I always like to control the amount of, you know, salt in my dishes. Finally, once it's basically done, throw that bacon back in there. This is what we're gonna top our burger with. Man, that is just looking delicious. You see everything in there. Let's plate it up. Arugula first. Nice peppery, you know, fragrant kind of green. Remember, it's an Irish pub burger. We need a little bit of green in there anyway. The cabbage don't even look green anymore. Our Swiss cheese is melted on there. Now we're gonna throw that fried cabbage back on top. Some may say I went a little too heavy on this, but I truly don't care. A burger is supposed to be just completely ridiculous, big and sloppy. I don't care what you say. It's a burger. And then just top it with that glaze. Remember that maple stout glaze. It's gonna add the sweetness to balance out the, you know, the acidity, just the saltiness, the pepperiness, the freshness from that arugula. You have all the perfect flavors with this burger, I'm telling you. I never ever like to slice my burgers, but just for presentation purposes and video, you know, for the sake of the video, I cut it open for y'all. I cooked this, you know, a little over, more like a, you know, a mid-well, but I really just want to show you the inside and what the burger's looking like when you cut it open. It's looking like perfection. See all the extra fat, all the extra grease. Look, fat equals flavor. Y'all know I don't eat beef or pork, but I had to go in for a taste for this. And let me tell you, I'm thinking about crossing that picket line, y'all. That was delicious. I honestly wanted one for myself. I think next time I make something like this, I may have to eat the whole thing. I appreciate everybody for watching. If you made it this far, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Share to all your friends. And just stay tuned for the next video, y'all. Check out this blueprint.
All right. 3.
Is it going? I can't look at this and then. All right. No. All right.